Alright, let's not waste your time. If you're just looking for item prices that you need to bid under, here's a graphic that you can take a screenshot of. All you should really know is that generally the younger the NPC, the better price you're going to get. Okay, if you want a bit more detail into how to win the auction, here we go. I made a spreadsheet with the same information I showed before, but if you make a copy of it, the sheet will allow you to enter the name of the item you're bidding for and the amount of the item that's being sold, so you know when to withdraw. As for the NPCs, here's a general rule of thumb that you can go by. Basically, the younger the NPC, the better the deal you'll get, with the boomers always overbidding and occasionally just setting really high prices. The 3 bid price options don't impact the ending bid price of the NPCs at the auction. The only variation you'll see would be usually 1, sometimes 2 bid increments lower than what you saw, but that's a result of you or the other NPC exceeding their maximum bid amount. And just so you know, going back to your save right before you started bidding does not change this maximum bid amount, nor the NPCs that'll appear at the auction. And that's really all the important information. So if you don't see an item you like, or you spot a boomer, you should re-roll your auction house. There's a lot of videos you can watch to figure this out, but for completeness sake, here's how you do it. Step 1, save at the auction house. Step 2, close the game. Step 3, set your time forward 2 hours. Step 4, open the game again. And you can repeat steps only 2 and 4 if you don't see an item you want. You only need to do the full 4 steps after you save. Of course, after you win an auction, you can save and continue as you did above from step 1. I also compiled some notes for you for various items. Gold bottle caps and bottle caps will always be at a higher price than they're worth, so never bid for those. Vitamins can go as low as around 75% of the market price, but can also be overpriced, so use the price sheet as needed. Feathers, berries, the standard Pokeballs, and Premier Balls are never overbid, so best prices follow the NPC bid optimization chart. Razor Claw, King's Rock, and Metal Coat can only have the same as the market price or higher. The evolution stones commonly go for 3,000 Pokédollars, and that's the price you should go for. The special Pokemon balls, minus the heal ball, and picnic ingredients usually go for around 90 to 95% of market price, so I don't recommend bidding for these. Healing items average about 50 to 60% of the market price, and finally, based on the data, bid under 250,000 for the apricorn balls and 15,000 for the pots. For each item, the NPC categories stick to a specific maximum and minimum range. The younger the NPC, the lower this range is. As you know, auctions have 2 NPCs, and the interesting thing to note was that the NPCs would stay within 10% of each other relative to the percent of the market price. The adults, however, sometimes exceeded that 10% rule, hence why they're separated from the young adults, and the old people always exceeded it. The differences in the NPC categories are clear from the fact that each older age group would always bid greater than or equal to the younger age groups. Younger NPCs in an auction results in a lower price sometimes since their range is lower than the older NPCs. This forces the older NPCs to stay within 10% of this lower range that they have. The data is really boring, so here's the speedrun of the process. I found all the market prices of the items offered at the auction house. Some of the items didn't have prices since you can't normally buy them. The berries, pots, and apricorn balls are prices that just make the percentages line up with what was observed in the other items. The Premier Balls are based on observation, as the NPCs seem to value them like the Pokeball auction. Feathers are just a calculation deriving from vitamins. I took down item name, amount, start bid, NPC classifications, and max bid to calculate a bunch of stuff. I copied a lot of this info to various sheets to look for patterns and such, divvying up the same data in different ways to make it easier to observe different conclusions. Compile it all up and boom, you got this video.